this CreepshowArt and EmilyArtful situation has been just running through my head so much lately, and I'm sure my boyfriend's tired of me talking about it, so I decided to come here and make a video. And I'm going to be discussing CreepshowArt's full video that she made as a comeback recently. And, good God, it's really long. So I'm not sure if this video is going to be multiple parts or what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see. But strap in. I'm going to link the original video Creepshow did in the description. And I'm also going to link the original video of EmilyArtful towards CreepshowArt in the description as well. If you guys don't know the context of these stories, you should probably go and watch those videos first, but I'm just warning you, those videos are extremely long, so just be aware of that. Anyways, let's get started. Before I even start to watch this a million hour long and million part series video, I wanted to talk about this description real quick, because it's a little wild. So if you want, take a screenshot of the description. I have two different pictures because, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. And she immediately goes into trashing anyone and everyone who was, like, had anything to do with the original situation, including her fans. So anyone who, like, you know, might have had a little crumb of, you know, Shannon might have not done it. Nah, fuck them. They're all lazy. I have to do all the heavy lifting. So she's obviously a little mad, but honestly, if someone was lying and saying I was stalking them and harassing them, I'd probably be mad too, but like, damn, bitch. Also, at the end of the description, she literally proves that this video isn't supposed to help her, like, in any way. It's basically just so that she could bring Emily and anyone else that's she wants to bring down with her, which is some pretty wild shit, to be honest.
Now, I don't know if you guys are getting sick of me talking about my exes. I've done a few videos about my love life in general, but now that I kind of think back at it, most of my exes were awesome and cool, and I'm still friends with them, or at the very least, cordial. Now, only 2 of my exes are just completely unbearable. I have no desire to ever get in contact with them ever again, and I have had about 7 relationships of substance in my entire life. The first ex that was just a piece of shit was the one that cheated on me, and his name, we called him Sam. So I'm gonna go ahead and put an annotation for that video right here. I definitely suggest you go over and watch that. It was quite an experience. That's all I can say. The other ex is who this story is about. Penny was a beautiful, charming young girl. We got along incredibly well. She was exactly my type.
To be honest, I feel like this clip is entirely pointless to be adding to the very beginning of her video. Just a fantastic start. So it's a clip of Emily talking about how in her past relationships she's only had a couple bad ones, and she doesn't bring up Anthony. Also, Emily will refer to Anthony as Andrew a couple times in her videos in these like clips that Shannon's gonna show. So just so that you know, if you hear Andrew, she means Anthony, which is Shannon's current husband, Emily's ex-boyfriend. Anyway, so the fact that Emily didn't bring up Anthony, God, I'm getting these names all messed up, in that video, that, you know, gotta mean that she never had any problems with him, because obviously if she did, she would have brought him up in that video. But I feel like that's a really stupid I don't want to be mean, but I feel like that's a really stupid judgment call. Like when I was scared of one of my exes, I didn't just like openly talk about them, especially not on the internet for like thousands of people to see. Even if I wasn't using their real name, like I know that they would recognize that I was talking about them. And that's something that I would have to mentally prepare for really bad just in case. So I assume Emily didn't want to just throw names out there and allegations.
Emily was not abusing drugs as she stated, and this is known because Anthony himself has a history of past drug abuse before he met Emily and has a zero tolerance policy for that.
So basically what Shannon is saying here is that when someone in your personal life has a zero drug policy, that just means, you know, just, you know, quit. You gotta quit. You know, cold turkey, gotta quit. You gotta go through withdrawals for a week, sweating, shitting, and just wanting to die for a whole week just because someone in your life has a zero drug policy. That's exactly how it works, Shannon. But No, like, really, like, sometimes people are just really good at hiding the fact that they're getting high. I was a very high functioning drug addict for a really long time before I reached my rock bottom, obviously, but there was a decent amount of time that no one knew shit. And drug addicts, they're usually like embarrassed by the fact that they're using, and they don't usually want the whole fucking world to know. So, like, even the closest people in your life usually don't know when you're still getting high. Like, I was able to keep that shit from my fucking fiance back in the day for a long time. Like, addiction doesn't always look the way that it does in media. It's very different for everyone, especially everyone's rock bottom. That's even completely different for people.
According to various social media accounts Emily ran between the ages of 13 and 20, Emily didn't do drugs and was in fact very against drug use. She was not addicted to cocaine at 14 like she said, and she never abused drugs until after Anthony and her dated and broke up. Here's a post that she made after she and Anthony had broken up where
I don't even know what to say after that part. Like, okay, let me get this straight. So, when I was doing heroin, right, it wasn't like I was parading around telling people that they should try it and like, oh, like, you should definitely try heroin. It's amazing. I love it. Like, no, addiction is a horrible thing. And I think most addicts are against people doing that shit. They're fully aware of how horrible it is and how miserable it makes them, but they can't stop. That's why it's an addiction. I wouldn't wish my worst enemy in the world to have to go through something like a heroin addiction, even cocaine, whatever other hard drug. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It's horrible. Sorry. Let alone just subscribing to the shit publicly. Like, yeah, I love drugs. Like, no. Like, if I went back on my old posts right now and like my old social media accounts, right, I'd probably find hella posts that are me saying that I'm against drugs and saying I was clean when I was probably literally high at the time of me typing that. It's not like drug addicts are all posting on their socials like, wow, I picked up heroin today. It was amazing. Oh my goodness. Like, no, that's not how it works. I'm like 10 minutes into this video and it seems like Shannon is just showing old posts that make Emily look like a shitty person and kind of just hoping that people will still think that Emily is this way. And so therefore Shannon must be telling the truth. But it's weird because in Emily's original video about Creepshow art, nonetheless, she literally said that she used to be a bitch and a pick-me girl. A pick-me girl, if anyone doesn't know, I'm sure you guys probably know better than I do, but it's a girl that like goes out of her way. It's like back in the day when girls would say like, oh, not like other girls. It's basically like the more recent version of that. But anyways, so she said that she was a bitch and a pick-me girl back in the day. Straight up, like she just said that, and she says she's grown and she's learned and that she doesn't do that type of thing anymore. And a lot of these screenshots that Shannon is showing are from years ago. Like a lot of them are like from 2015, 2016, which in and of itself is kind of weird. I feel like it's already a little stalkery, and I feel like Shannon shouldn't have, dug up such old things if she was trying to prove she wasn't a stalker. But anyways, when I was a kid, I was a piece of shit. Oh my god. Like, I probably said and did worse shit than Shannon is showing that Emily did in the past to prove that Emily is a bad person now. And I'm not saying I'm a good person. Like, I'm a filthy piece of shit. Like, I'm not a good person at all, but I'd like to think that I'm not, like, the worst person in the world. And, yeah, I did shitty things, but, it happens, and that's why you learn and you grow. But it seems like Shannon thinks that once you're like that, you can never be a good person ever again, I guess. I don't know.
Emily also lied when she said how the breakup occurred, saying that Anthony's friend, who she calls Brandon, whose real name is Bryce, told her that she was a worthless whore who he was going to curb, stomp, and kill. This never happened. Instead, Anthony broke up with Emily himself twice. However, Emily wouldn't listen to him and kept coming to his home, kept showing up at his friend Bryce's house, and would try to go places Anthony was going to be, including once to his work where she had to be escorted out. Ironically, she would not take no for an answer. Only because she wouldn't take no for an answer and wouldn't listen to Anthony, did Anthony ask Bryce to tell her to leave Anthony alone, and confirm that he wanted the relationship to end. It's also important to note that Bryce is an autistic man who loves movies, video games, and art so so much so that during the time frame Emily is talking about, Bryce would often wear halo armor that he built himself when he was out and about.
So for context, in Emily's original video about CreepshowArt, she states that when Anthony tried to break up with her, that instead of telling her himself, he had his friend Bryce, who she calls Brandon in her video, he called her and threatened to beat her ass and curb stomp her. And for those of you who might not know what curb stomping is, it's when someone opens your mouth on the edge of a curb and almost has you like bite down on it while they stomp your head into the pavement. So it's extremely scary and not a pleasant thing to be threatened with on your average Tuesday. She also said that he had like an unhealthy obsession with Heath Ledger's Joker and that he was just kind of overall like scary sounding. And I feel like Shannon bringing up that he's autistic is a way that she thinks that she can make people think that Emily's ableist and like another trait of her that's shitty, basically. And maybe get people to think that Emily thinks all autistic people act this way or something. I'm not sure, but that's about as deep as this argument gets, because everything she says literally doesn't prove anything. Like, most of what Shannon says could still be relatively true, while what Emily says, that she was like threatened and whatever, that could also be true. Like, the only thing that could not is the fact that one says it happened, one says it didn't. But I don't get the argument here at all, and I feel like that's going to be a common theme in this video. Before I even start like actually getting into this part and I inevitably get mad, I just want to say that Shannon is honestly kind of an asshole for naming a whole part of this of this video heroin. I don't even want to go into how much that pisses me off. This video is already going to be really fucking long, and I don't want to sit here and bitch about a title for 10 minutes, but I just want to make it very clear that that's kind of a shitty move on her part.
Emily has confirmed that November 2012 as her sobriety date, specifically from heroin, multiple times on her YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, and more. All the posts I will be citing about her sobriety date being in 2012 are from after 2015, which is when she is now claiming she actually got sober from heroin, meaning she would be purposely giving a false date for no other reason.
So I'm gonna skip this part of the video, the second part of Shannon's video. Most of it is being repeated from the first part of her video, and most of it is irrelevant anyway, but I'm gonna give my thoughts on the section as a whole. So the fact that Emily doesn't have a solid sobriety date, or like sober birthday, or whatever you want to call it, that's completely normal. Not everyone like knows the exact day that they got clean. It's completely normal to relapse a few times in the beginning of your sobriety, so it makes like the first day of it a little cloudy. It makes it not really as official, and it feels weird to give it like a specific date. And this type of thing can't be proved unless you are Emily. She's trying to act like, since Emily was posting things online saying that she wasn't doing it, then she must have not been doing drugs. But it's really just, people are embarrassed and they lie. Like, I'm willing to bet money that Emily was literally on drugs while she was typing those posts. Creepshow literally brings up at one point, why would Emily lie about her sobriety when no one was asking in the first place, or whatever the hell she said? Like, you want to know why? Because in your high brain, when you're on drugs, you think that it makes your case more believable, even though no one's asking you in the first place. You think the whole world is suspicious of you, and that you have this weird need to lie about weird shit in the first place. Like, being truthful about addiction in general is so hard, and a lot of people that have never been through it don't understand. And drugs really mess with your mental state. Obviously, Shannon knows nothing about this, so this whole section is kind of pointless, and I feel like it should have been cut from her video, honestly.
Her claiming this is the first time she noticed harassment is also false, because Emily herself has written multiple blog posts, statuses, and more about how she, even before she met Anthony, was being stalked and harassed. Going as far back as when she was in middle school, posting on DeviantArt under the names Gothic Kazooie, X Gizmo X, and Clash City Rockers, she would often post about how she was being harassed by a group of people, some who even went so far as to hack her account and send hate to her friends. She also did this before she and Anthony started working professionally together after she got sober in 2012. On her Facebook, Emily wrote this post on December 9th, 2012. So I'm finally writing something about the girl who pretty much tormented me all through high school and even after, an underclassman at that. She is a compulsive liar and ruined a lot of my relationships. She liked to flirt with my boyfriends behind my back, was commonly known for telling them lies like I was addicted to meth, I had STDs, I had the HIV virus, I cheated on them, I was a psycho stalker who was trying to get pregnant so they never leave, etc. So who's ready for a little column of me being motherfucking real?
I don't really know why Shannon brings up this whole Facebook post that Emily posted, because this isn't online harassment. This is literally someone from Emily's high school, from what I understand. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, I don't really know. But it seems like it's someone from Emily's high school that harassed her after the fact also, and in high school. And I feel like this literally has nothing to do with what's going on. I don't think Emily has ever claimed that she's never ever been harassed in any form until now. I think she was talking about targeted online harassment. And I guess that's the only point of this whole part of the video. So 3 out of 3 parts could have just not been included in this long ass video, and it was mostly waste of time so far, and I hope part 4 is a little bit better.
She absolutely did do cam work a year after she quit YouTube, between June 2014 and July 2014, according to her camming Twitter account. She didn't do it because she was forced into it by another abusive ex though, as she states, as she is still friends with the man she lived with while she was doing cam work. More on this in part 5.
So this is an argument that Shannon actually brings up like multiple times throughout this video, and I'm not really sure why, because I don't think Emily ever said that the person that forced her into doing cam work was an ex. I don't know why Shannon's assuming that. I don't think she ever said ex-boyfriend, boyfriend, whatever, partner. I don't think she ever said anything like that. It was, from what I understand, she said that she had no control of her bodily autonomy. I can't talk. And to me, that kind of sounds more like a pimp, or maybe even just someone she knew that said that she could make money if he helped her out, or you know, something like that. It doesn't sound like it was an ex-partner. So Shannon's gonna bring this up a lot of times in the video, and I'm gonna ignore every single one because I don't feel like talking about the same thing 8 times.
On the Sugar Fruit channel, Emily ended up doing a couple of controversial things, like posting an anime review naked in a bathtub. Emily states now in 2021 that she was high on heroin when she did this, but as established, that cannot be true. The video of her in a bathtub caused a lot of anger in the community because the YouTube anime community is filled with mostly men who saw Emily doing that as a cheap way to get subscribers and attention.
This point that Shannon's trying to make, I feel like it should have been either in the last part of this video, like part 3, or they all should have just been combined into part 4, but I guess that's not what we're talking about. But I don't know whether Emily meant that the online harassment that she's never received before was kind of just like this stalking and like targeted harassment for no real reason, and her not knowing who it is that's harassing her. I obviously don't know that for sure, so like fuck if I know, but I feel like that might be what she meant, but I'm just an idiot that has no idea what I'm talking about. So but Emily said that she was high and drunk in this situation, and so I'm sure now that she's been sober for a while, she probably understands that it's a little weird to do an anime review but us naked in a bathtub, but who knows? I have no idea. I'm not gonna show any clips from what I just watched in Shannon's video because I literally think it was 20 minutes. Well, I hope you didn't hear that. I just got a loud ass text. But anyway, it was like 20 minutes of footage of people basically just criticizing Emily for doing the bathtub thing for an anime review. And some of them weren't even criticizing her. Some of them were just being like, leave the girl alone and everything. And the ones that were, I guess Shannon was trying to refer to as harassment, they were more like criticism. Like none of them seemed blatantly mean for like no inherent reason. They just seemed to be a little annoyed at the situation. And this, oh gosh, sitting through this 20 minutes of footage was gonna make me rip my hair out. Like, if anyone's gonna watch this Creepshow video, I'd recommend watching it in 2x speed, and also watch some people's videos about it first so that you could fucking skip 90% of the video.
We can further prove she wasn't homeless based on Emily's own Instagram and the progression of photos she placed on them. She was fired on September 16th, 2013, according to her Instagram. Then, 9 days later, on September 25th, 2013, she posted her last photo at her father's home. We can tell that because of the pink wall in the background. The photo is captioned, "Love the way the stylistic styled my hair. It stayed this way even when I got home." So losing her job didn't impact her home life at all.
Okay, so for a video that's supposed to show how Shannon isn't a stalker, this part is the most stalker shit I've ever fucking seen. This bitch said, "Oh, she can't be homeless. Those pink walls, those are the color of the walls in her room at her dad's house." Like, what? Oh my god. Oh, it kills me, man. It kills me. But, like, first of all, when I was homeless, during my drug addiction, I posted pictures sometimes at my mom's house because I would still visit her sometimes. And I'd do my laundry there and shower there once in a while if she'd let me. All these things just, like, literally can't be proved by showing posts and shit. You literally can't know what someone is going through their social media. Like, most people don't post everything on social media. Social media, and the things that they do post are things that they want you to see. They're things that make others think that your life is better than what it actually is. So this is the shortest and most pointless part of the video so far, to be honest. So she literally just repeats the point that she made earlier, that apparently Emily couldn't have been forced to do cam work because she said she loved her boyfriend at the time. Shannon repeats herself a lot in this video, so this is the last time I'm going to be saying these things, and if she brings it up again, I'm just not going to address it anymore. So 1, Emily never said that it was her boyfriend at the time forcing her to do cam work. Not like it could have literally been anyone else in her life. And 2, just because someone says they love their significant other online, that doesn't mean that the relationship can't be manipulative and abusive behind the scenes. Like, people put these personas online. You never know what's going on in someone's life. And it seems like this whole video is just Shannon showing old posts and shit from Emily's old socials, acting like it's proof, even though I feel like everyone knows, especially when you're young, you just be saying shit online. Like, it doesn't have to be true or not. It doesn't even have to have a crumb of truth in it. You're just saying shit to sound cool. You're saying shit to, like, get sympathy. Like, you just say shit. And saying that you love your significant other when it's kind of a shitty relationship, isn't that crazy, to be honest? So for this part, I'm not going to show any clips from this part because the clips are kind of long, to be honest, and this video is already dragging out a little bit. Also, the points that she makes, there's only like 2 of them, and it takes her a little bit to explain each one. So the first point she makes is that Emily lost that client that she claimed that she lost because of a bad review about dirty brushes and stuff. And then Shannon straight up goes to these old reviews on like Craigslist and some blog like forever ago. Like, whenever Emily worked here, I'm a shitty researcher, so don't fucking ask me what year it was. But she tries to show the reviews on that single blog and on Craigslist as if like those are the only 2 places that put reviews for someone's work online, especially for a makeup artist. Like, there's endless amounts of places she could have gotten reviews for her work. So this whole point is kind of pointless. And the second point that she made was that Emily said that she was nervous about sharing her location, and then Shannon shows a bunch of examples about Emily showing her location basically online after the point in time that she said that she was scared of sharing her location. I literally can't talk, I'm so sorry. But Shannon's trying to make it look like Emily is lying, but honestly, like, this situation we know nothing about. She could have only been posting her location when she was with friends or felt like she was safe or in public so that she knew that nothing would be able to happen to her, essentially, or trying to get her control back by posting it. Like, we don't know anything about this situation. We shouldn't claim someone's lying when we don't have any concrete proof about something. Alright, so this is probably where I'm gonna stop the video for today. This video's already been kind of long, and I would prefer if I didn't have a video just as long as Shannon's while I'm in the middle of shit talking how long Shannon's video is. So I'm gonna just stop it here. This drama is already kind of old, but if there's anyone watching who isn't me, please let me know if I should make a part 2, I guess, or if there's anything else I can talk about. I usually just talk about this type of shit with my boyfriend, so it's nice to be able to vent my frustrations elsewhere. I guess like the video if you enjoyed it, I guess, and subscribe if you want to see more of me, because, well, hear more of me, see more of my art. Because my upload schedule is probably, actually, it's definitely gonna be irregular for a little bit. Also, if you want to follow me on TikTok, that's where I post little videos of my art content. But yeah, thank you for watching if you're still here. If you continue to watch the rest of this video, I'm just kind of rambling because there's still more time on my art video. If you're gonna watch till the end, or you can skip till the end, I don't really care. It's gonna show my finished Sasuke and Susanoo piece. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Thanks.